You go in at 7 and you start working your way up the ladder, climbing up the steel. Every few floors you plank it off. Then you disconnect the bottom of the mast and you tie it to them with a choker cable. And you get a heavy block on the job that weighs 200, 250 pounds, something like that. I started when I was 18 years old, working the structural steel. I worked on towers probably 120, 130 feet high. Most people are afraid of heights like that, so automatically, every ironworker has an ego. We're doing something somebody else can't do. And we get to wear a tube out. When you're a kid, 18 years old, and you got the wrenches in like a holster, you're like a cowboy or a sailor. If I put a 2x4 on the floor, I couldn't knock you off with a stick. But if I put it up 50 feet and a little gust of wind comes and you overreact, you end up falling off. That's why most ironworkers, we start off as kids. When you're 18 and just out of school and the guy next to you walks the beam, you're going to try walking the beam too. Ironworkers very rarely fall in the hole. That's what a term is. Somebody falls off the building, they fell in the hole. If you ironwork long enough, you're gonna get some real scares. I know this myself. You get a copper taste. You put a penny in your mouth and you were a kid, you know that taste. It's the taste of fear, I guess. As you get older, you reconcile yourself. It's easier to get down and coon across the beam. It is easier, but the guys lose all the hair on the inside of their legs. You can always tell an ironworker because they have no hair on the inside of their legs. Another bad thing. Out here, we don't have outhouses, so the guys are always pissing in the columns. The only problem with that is, eventually, something bad is going to happen to where they're going to have to work down below. There isn't anything worse in the world than having to burn something down there. It's like cooking a toilet. But I always knew I was going to be an ironworker. My brothers were ironworkers. My father was an ironworker, so it was a natural course of events. My father was very disappointed I didn't go to college. We had a college boy I worked this summer. He saw a book in my back pocket and was so amazed. He says to me, "You read? That's what can get to you. The non-recognition by other people. To say that a man is just a laborer, a woman is just a housewife, it bothers you sometimes." But sometimes, some mornings, I look across the skylines at buildings I once worked on. Say, an office building. And a big, fancy cars pulling into the parking garage I built. And I know a guy from the burbs is driving it, and I know he's never going to think about me, but I think about him sometimes. Driving his air-conditioned car to his air-conditioned office, and he's just sitting back there, enjoying the ride.
Where in the hell is the parking lot attendant? He does this every morning. You know, it just can't take that long to park a car. Sometimes I think they'd like to take him up there, drive him around a bit, listen to the radio.
Not only that, when he finally takes your car,
Yeah?
you don't know what he's going to do to it before he gives it back to you.
I've been parking cars for 32 years. In my younger days, I was the best. I could park any car like a baby, like a woman changing her baby's diapers. I still get customers that come up to me and say, "Man, you sure can drive. How long have you been doing it?" I say I started when I'm 16 and I'm still doing it. All my days is cars. All my waking hours is cars. I drive my car to work, and when I get here, it's a customer's car. Then I drive my car back home at night. But when I go out, My wife drives. I'm known from Beijing to Hong Kong, from the West Coast to the Pictures. Packing cars is my game. In an automobile, I used to be hell on the wheel. That's what earned me my name. You can ask anybody to tell you about love and now. You can ask anybody, and anybody will tell you. There was a time when nobody could beat me doing what I do. I put that chicken slide under the wheel and right with that have it under control. Use one hand and spin her around without looking back and straight in the hole. People wonder how I do it. I tell them that there ain't nothing to do. Love now, the wizard won't swing out like me. Love now is a wizard, so don't be surprised at what you see. Swing in, won't swing out. Look out, there he goes. Now when you're parking cars, you're working for tips, so you need to know the type. Now there's the working man, he's the best tip. He works all day, but he'll give you $2. Then of course these people come over in a big old Cadillac, and you know what they give you? One measly quarter. Then you have our regular customers. We give them what we like to call swan cakes. Of course, those are no tips. We'll have to give you service, but it ain't swan yet. I'll tell you. Why can't I be a rich man with some big bucks in my jeans? I buy me a brand new caddy and to call his butt cigar. Just you can't smoke them Vanzellas when you're riding in a rich man's car. I see him get out with the tuxedos on and I can smell the cologne. The music be up, I've been listening a while. The shit pretending like it was my own. I may sit longer than I should. That's just 'cause it feels so good. Love now, the wizard won't swing out like me. Love now, the wizard right now, just see. Swing in, swing out, look out.
I get to work at 7:30 a.m. I leave at 5 p.m. In between my meetings, I answer messages, emails, try to avoid my boss. One always has a boss. You have a boss, your boss has a boss. There's politics the entire time. And sometimes you have a good boss, which I've had, and sometimes you have a second boss, like the one I have now. We sent out a notice that said the Cubicle Cuties would like to have a Christmas party. I get called in and he's all like, "You can't start a union here. I'm like, you should be focusing on the fact that we haven't delivered any work in 2 months.
I've been in a lot of different cubes. I've been in the high wall cubes, I've been in the half-height cubes. At one place, they didn't have any cubes, there were just desks. 8 of us, all lined up at desks with little phones and little lights that light up when you're on the line. I'm going, wow, my career is really taking off now.
I paper the walls of my cubicle with posters. I bring in flowers, brought in my favorite ceramic lamp. This collection of things I have on top of my computer, we call them computer gods. I guess they have more decorations than I thought. But I like getting fun things. It's kind of, you know, without the decorations, it's kind of a drab-looking place. So things like glow-in-the-dark skeletons go a long way.
I can see the programmer in the cubicle next to me through the reflection in the window. At night, I can see what she's doing. Quite often, she's emailing jokes to her sister. I also acquired a webcam. I set it up so it points behind me, and there's this little window which is the webcam picture, and when somebody walks behind me, I can see them. Ooh.
One guy in the corner of my room talks very loudly on the phone. Someone filtered on his personal life to a great extent. I hear him talking to this girl he loves, and his mom is giving him hell and things like that. Finally, I said, you know, I hear everything you're talking about. Now I hear on the corner of the phone, and I know something sensitive is going on.
This industry is highly hit by mergers, which means significant layoffs. I've been through 2 of them. My mentality is quite different than those 15 years older than me, the Lycas. Now, I have no real loyalty because I know they have a business to run and they will lay me off if it's quitted. I accept that. But for those 15 years my senior, well, they've given their life here. For a few measly bucks, you're tossing us aside. And I'm like, get over it. It's a different world. I don't perceive anyone my age feels they've got a job here, they've got a job for life. What they feel is, all right, I'm going to get as much as I can from this company and then move and get more money. Jobs aren't big enough for people. You ask most people who they are, and they define themselves by their jobs. I'm a doctor, I'm a radio announcer, I'm a carpenter. You ask me, and I say, I'm Amanda McKenney. At certain points in my life, I do things for a living.
I'm a fella who likes to work. Some people enjoy tennis. I enjoy work. I enjoy being a leader. I enjoy being the guy everybody looks to. I like the responsibility of having thousands of people working for me. In our world of money, money management is the sexiest job there is. If I'm called a freebooter, a pirate, a robber baron, take it as a compliment. Well, absolutely. I mean, who developed America? Was it the regulators, the SEC, or was it the Mellons, the Rockefellers? I mean, tell me what those guys did bad. Rockefeller shot down some workers in the copper fields, and some say he exploited them. Well, absolutely. And who benefited? There's still Standard Oil, isn't there? Mellon's Bank is still around. Listen, how many charities were started by these people? How many national parks were preserved by these robber barons? You see, these are the giants who built our cities, who built our country. And unless you have losers, you cannot have winners.
Oh, Mr. Winship, you asked me to remind you you have an overseas call in 5 minutes?
Listen, I'm gonna have to cut this short. I want to get on the phones before the markets close overseas. Everybody works long hours these days. In fact, I think kids work harder today than ever before. Kid wants to make it, he's got to be willing to work long hours. He's got to attend school nights, learn federal policy. Because you see, you've got to know how to outsmart the regulators to make a profit. It's easy. Goodness, if you can't outsmart one little government staff, you shouldn't even come to work in the morning. You know, I should be their teacher. I've always wanted to be a teacher, but they don't want a businessman like me. They want somebody with a formalized and, I think, empty education. You see, that's what I want to do, and I'm tired of all this. Get involved with the young people. Pass along my knowledge, my experience, my values.
I really don't know what prompted me to be a newsboy. It's just sort of one of the ways to get started, you know? Oh, and it's a really great experience insofar as the business world. Gee, it's neat to be a newsboy. You ride your bike around the neighborhood. You get known at the stores and out of your chores, and it pays real good. If you're 11, gee, I dig the world of finance and doing business like my dad does. And I could grow up to be Horatio Alger, whoever he was. Oh, I like my paper out quite a bit, but there's one part that's my favorite. Put your hand around the paper, paper in the bush, watch the bush go, boing. Watch the bush go, boing. Watch the bush go. Oh, so when you're heading right, mom's getting at me, sister's getting annoying. The paper in the bushes, watch the bushes go, boing, 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 boing. Hey, boss, to meet the public. You'll learn who pays you quick and who forgets. You'll learn new words to swear and things to beware, like having debts and German shepherds. Hey, it's fun, you make contact. There's major people in my half a mile, and I could grow up to be the president someday if I practice my smile. Oh, and anytime I wanna call it quits, I just think about those fringe benefits. Hang around the paper, paper in the bush, watch the bush go, boing. Watch the bush go, boing. Watch the bush go. Oh, so long time business, you know, but it's pretty and annoying. The paper in the bush, yeah. Watch the bushes go, boing, boing, boing.
Tag, you're in!
Good morning, Hernando. How are you?
Good morning, Linda. I missed you. In your heart, you may have a dislike for a certain child, but you force yourself to say, "Good morning, Manuel. How are you doing today?" My name's Rose Hoffman. I teach 3rd grade. At 9:15, we start with arithmetic. I have table fun on the board. multiplication. Of course, you don't say tables, you say tables fun. Everything has to be fun, fun, fun! Then we have a penmanship lesson. There it is, my beautiful handwriting. I have a Palmer Method diploma. I tell my kids, Miss Hoffman's here, everybody works. Working is a blessing. But I don't give them assignments over their head. I give them the rote method. This is very boring, very monotonous, but it creates habit. Habit, they love habit. Habit's a great thing for these kids. I like to make sure my classroom is neat and the desks are well organized. I like uniformity. I love straight lines. Now, the neighborhood is changing, and the type of child is changing too. I have 32 in my class, 23 Spanish. I only have 2 Appalachian kids. The poor Appalachian children never get the same treatment the Spanish kids get. Their names aren't Spanish. My heart breaks for them. Now, in the old days, we had 18 to 20 children who stayed from the beginning bell to the very end. Now you have students leaving for computer science, art, English as a second language. I'm shocked that they're teaching English as a second language. My parents didn't learn Jewish at the taxpayer's expense. The Polish didn't learn Polish as a second language. Oh yes, I've seen a great many changes since I began teaching in 1979. January 6, 1979. My children were primarily Polish then. I love the Polish people, they work hard. We had 2 colored families, but they were very sweet. Of course, in those days, we had the paddle. I believe in corporal punishment. It builds respect and trust. My classroom was always a showcase. In those days, we did it ourselves. With colorful pictures and charts on the wall, a snowman in winter, a pumpkin in fall, and all my supplies were in neat little piles on the shelves. My children were always respectful. When the principal came, they would rise. If I had to leave them a minute or 2, they always found something constructive to do, and all of them sat in their places according to size. But kids don't know how to behave anymore. Ask them to rise, and they'll ask you what for. We confiscate weapons and drugs at the door. No spitballs and comic books now. They want me to teach in a classroom like that, but nobody tells me how. I made a big thing about spelling, but they learned by the time I got through. They copied the words till they knew them by heart. 10 times for the dumb ones and twice for the smart. And gold stars were given to those who made sentences too. But why bother teaching them spelling today? Nobody knows how to read, by the way. How can you spell what you can't even say? It's say all last Daniel now! The way I've been teaching for 40-some years is no longer effective, or so it appears. Well, damn it! It worked for me then, so what's wrong with it now? They say I'm supposed to keep up with the times, but nobody ever tells me how. There was one student I remember in all my years of teaching, my favorite, Pam. She wasn't very bright, but she never caused any trouble. I see her now and then at the Treasure Island supermarket. She has the same smile then as she does now. The same smile for everyone.
There isn't anything you
and I know the code for every one. On the register, there's a book with all the codes, but that's for the part-timer. I never have to look at it. You got your 3, 40, 22, and your red 40, 23. You got your brand new 17, Australian legal 12, and tell you to come to me. I got my right hand ready on the register, use my left to get me bullshit. And when I feel you and feel the flowers running through it, I never have to look at the kids. Please don't look at the I'm just a we were fun until nighttime, we were working at the checker and moving. High school, we back when didn't want a secretary job. I heard they call me, and then they said 11 on the working hard. You see these part-time girls, they're so lonely, and Friday nights we go out and kick. Girl, you turn around, and I put on the Indians, I even come up here, I can say, wait, I'm just a girl. Paper or plastic?
Hey, Jim, how about a break?
A break? Maria, you gotta break the day you were hired.
You knew? What's your name?
Violeta.
Violet. I'm Pam, but everyone calls me Babe.
We have to be somewhere in 10 minutes. Would you hurry up and bag that?
You wait your turn, and I'll give you my full, undivided attention. You rush, and you're gonna get nothing.
You walk through the door, and the music starts playing. Everything is pretty. Everything looks fresh and nice. You aren't aware that in the back room, it stinks. There's crates everywhere, and people are yelling at each other. They play the music over the loudspeakers, so you relax while you shop. They play the Guantanamera. It's a Cuban revolution song. People don't pay any attention to the music. They just shop and hit their kids and blame us for the high prices.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Put the lettuce on top. They should teach you people about produce.
Sorry, ma'am.
No, I'm sorry. It's just lettuce costs so much these days.
I used to pick lettuce. According to my mom, I was born on the cotton sacks out on the fields because she had no money to go to a real hospital. We used to migrate from California to Arizona and back and forth. And the things that I saw, they shaped my life. I couldn't do much, but every little bit counts. Every time that I would get behind
behind me yelling UPS.
Sorry, ma'am.
It's all right.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You gotta do something to entertain yourself, you know? Where is it? Where is it? I've been bit once already by a Doberman. That's the biggest part of a dog's day, when the UPS is. I had one house where I was trying to make friends with a dog. It was a schnauzer or some little damn thing. I started to walk away from it. It was just barking its little fool head off, and it just falls over on its side. I thought it had a heart attack, but then the lady says, "Oh, he usually relapses from barking too much." Yeah, I usually hit him in the head with my clipboard. But then they'll say, "Oh, why'd you hit it? The dog's not gonna hurt you." And I say, "Lady, it's jumping at me, it's scratching me." So nobody's looking. You're coming down the street. Even if he's just following you, you'll get him for the one you missed a couple of blocks back. Yeah, that's the big subject of conversation with us. Dogs and women. When you see a nice looking baby, here come a brightens your day. Oh, we have a code on the sheet. We put Q. That stands for cutie. When you see a nice looking honey lying out there in the front yard, she's lying there in a two-piece bathing suit with the top strap undone. You go there, and you scare her. So jump up to scare her. So they would jump up and you would be able to see them better. This takes time. Gives you something to do. As it sounds better.
housewives like my mother and sisters. I think I've always known I wanted something more out of life. One afternoon I was sitting in a coffee shop and my friend came in and said, "Hurry up! I've got a cab waiting outside. You couldn't make $100 in 20 minutes." We went to a penthouse. The man was quite well known. It was barely sex. He was practically finished by the time we'd started. It was a tremendous kick. There I was, doing nothing, feeling nothing. And in 20 minutes, I would walk out with $100 in my pocket. Just out of curiosity, how many of you make $100 for 20 minutes of work?
I consider myself an upper-class working girl. The press calls me a socialite, but really that's just another name for a well-dressed fundraiser. I started in the 80s. I held a fundraiser for Nicaraguan refugee children. Now, it wasn't for the Contras, although I'm sure that would have been fun too. But fundraising is work. It's hard to separate people from their money.
It's a marketplace transaction. Somehow I was able to absorb that at a young age. I was a precocious child. Actually, I was kind of lonely. I didn't experience myself as being attractive. I didn't look like a Calvin Klein ad. I was bright and didn't play by the rules. Guys are mostly scared of me. They didn't want to get involved emotionally, but they wanted to get involved physically. And for a while, I was willing to accept that. It was feeling intimacy, feeling warm, feeling.
The other day, I was riding around in New York in a limousine during a hotel strike, and I thought, now I know what it's like to be a bag lady. You see, you can't pick up every homeless person you find and take them home with you, but if you can help by saying an entertaining word, you bring a kind of light into their eyes. Maybe that's what the word socialite really means.
You become your job. I've become a hustler. Even when I'm not hustling, I'm a hustler. What you do is what you are. I don't think it's terribly different from someone who works on an assembly line 40 hours a week and comes home cut off, numb. People aren't meant to switch on and off like water faucets.
Luggage factory. We make suitcases. The tank I work at is 6 foot deep, 8 foot square. In 40 seconds, you have to take the wet felt out of the felter, put the blanket on to draw out the excess moisture, wait 2-3 seconds, take the blanket off, pick the wet felt up and balance it on your shoulder. Reach over, get the hose, spray the inside of this copper screen, turn around, walk to the hot dry guy behind you, take the hot piece off and set it on the floor. Put the wet felt on the dry dye. Push this button. Inspect the piece you just took off, stack it, and count it. 40 seconds. In the summertime, the temperature of our workstation ranges anywhere from 100 to 150 degrees. I've taken thermometers and checked it out. I have arthritis in the joints of my fingers, naturally in my shoulder balancing this wet piece. The hose will sometimes leak and spray back on you. The hydraulic presses leak so you're slipping in oil. You have the possibility of being burnt every time the hot dye hits that wet felt. You're just engulfed in a cloud of steam every 40 seconds. The tanks run 24 hours a day. I work for 8 straight hours with 2 10-minute breaks and a 20-minute break for lunch. I find it difficult to eat my lunch.
Died from too much whiskey.
I could have been what I could have been. I could have been something.
I wanted to be a writer.
A Major League Baseball player.
If what I could be had been left to me, I would have been something.
But then I got married.
But then my dad took sick.
A tower of strength, a center of power, at $10 an hour. There was always a stumbling block. I was gonna work for 3 years, buy me a car and invest. Well, then I met the husband. I kind of changed my plans. You never know what you could have did.
If I could have done what I could have done, I could have done big things. Of luck to do what I wanted to, I could have done big things. Swim through the universe, climb a few hills, be on my will. Countless dreams that stuck me, and they don't want to show.
Way back then I had a mission. I wanna stand and I had guts. I never know more than answer. It was tougher to fight all those ifs, ands, or buts. All those ifs, ands, or buts. But in life I have been something special. Hey, somebody, don't you wanna hear the story of my life?
The last hour is the hardest. You can do it past mine, one hour.
Get home, take it off my floor.
Cold can of beer.
Putting your feet up on top of the idiot box.
When that whistle blows, all you guys are gonna sit around and talking. I just want to get out of here.
It's a pretty good day laying stone. You get interested in what you're doing, and you usually find the hobby of it. You're never looking for quit time. You're wondering, well, why haven't I got enough done? And it's almost quit time. There's not a house in this country that I haven't built that every time I go by, and if even one stone is crooked, I still notice it. People that lives there might not notice it, but
remember? Stone cabinets in the kitchen, everything's stone. Seems like all my dreams need to have a little bit of rock mixed up with it.
She builds a house with her hands. 30 years go by, it stands where nothing stood. A house of stone, the mason sleeps real good. She does her work day flies. Quitting time's a big surprise. And then it's one more stone to get just right. It's always one more stone before the night. Every house she builds, every stone she lays, it's not just making money and counting off the days. She builds a house with her hands. 100 years go by, it stands, it tells you who she was. A life goes fast, but the work a mason does, it's made to last. The work a mason does.
There's nothing in this world that's gonna last forever. But with stone, we're getting awful close.
It's made to last.
trip to Milwaukee and I pass in the 4 blocks of my house. I never get to go home. You know, you sit in your truck and the only companionship is your thoughts. You get mighty lonely not talking to anyone for 48 whole hours. But halfway back, call your operator. I tell you, you're going to talk to him. Hello? Chat? Hello? Duty Squad Phone Company.
Atlantic, how may I help you?
Yeah, hi. I just got cut off.
I'm sorry you're having trouble. May I have the number you were calling?
Yeah, 365-563-8365.
I'm sorry, that number is busy.
Busy? Jesus, lady, I was just talking to him. What's wrong with you guys?
I'm sorry, perhaps the party's trying to reach you. Why don't you wait 5 minutes and place your call again? Sometimes you really want to talk to them if they sound upset. For me, it's yours to say, gee, what's the matter? But you can't say more than, I'm sorry you're having trouble. If you get caught talking with a customer, that's one mark against you. One man said, operator, I'm lonesome, will you talk to me? And I said, gee, I'm sorry, I just can't. But you can't. I'm a communications person and I can't communicate.
I used to think of the receptionist as the dumb broad behind the front desk taking phone messages. Now I'm one. So of course, I've changed my opinion. She had to be special, right? Because I thought I was special. I was fine until we had this one office party. I'd be having a fairly intelligent conversation, and then they'd ask me what I did. When I'd say, I'm a receptionist, they'd make an excuse and walk away. Now I make up other names for what I do. Communications, control, several mechanisms.
It's strange, but you get tired of talking. My mouth gets tired because you talk constantly for 6 hours straight without a 10-minute break. You can't think. Everyone's in a hurry to talk to someone else, but never to talk to you. You're in a room the size of a gymnasium, surrounded by people talking to people thousands of miles away.
You get tired at the end of the day. Tired of talking. There isn't a 10-minute break in the day that's quiet. You can't think. Everything I do all day is say what I have to say as quickly as possible and switch the call to wherever it's going. I've noticed people have asked me to slow down when I am talking.
Do I ever listen in on phone conversations?
I never listen in on phone conversations. But I'll tell you, some girls really do.
Especially if you're working late at night. Sometimes the people on the line are so funny. You'll sit there and laugh until the tears roll down your face.
I used to work for Illinois Bell, and I don't care who the operator is, the greatest thing is listening in on phone conversations. Especially when you work nights and everything is quiet. I don't think there's an operator out there who hasn't listened in on phone conversations.
It makes the night go faster.
Sometimes, to make the day go faster, I make drawings. Mondrian, sort of. Things of nature. Never people. I like to pretend that I'm alone and everything is quiet. I call it the land of no phones. I never answer the phone when I'm at home.
I saw this ad in the paper. Equal opportunity employer, salary plus commission. When I got the job, I was thrilled. All I had to do was talk on the phone. We didn't even have to think of what to say. They had it all written out.
Bell Atlantic, how may I help you? I'm sorry, that number is busy. Why don't you wait 5 minutes, then place your call again.
Good afternoon, Shaper Gamlin Rice. May I help you? I'm sorry, he's on another line. Would you like his voicemail?
Hello, this is Mrs. Dubois. Could I have a moment of your time? If you would only for 3 short months subscribe to our newspaper, it's for a worthy cause. To help blind children. What did it for me was one call I made. It was the worst area. And this guy listened patiently and said, I really would like to help. He was blind himself. So here I was sitting here telling him a bunch of lies. I apologized and thanked him. I ran to the ladies' room. I was nauseous. I prayed right there in the restroom. I said, dear God, there must be some other work for me. I've never harmed anyone in my life. Dear Lord. And then I went back in to finish the rest of my day because I had no other means of employment. And then, as if my prayers were answered, I got another job. So I walked into my supervisor's office and I told him a few things. I was sick of his bullying. I wasn't gonna lie for him anymore. Boy, I really cannot tell you what I said. But I stayed calm. I didn't shout. Oh, it felt good. I still work in the same building. Pass him in the hallways every once in a while. And every time I do, I hold my head very high, very erect, and I just keep walking.
Something to run into someone who says, it's a nice day out, operator. How's your day been? Busy? Has it been a rough day? You're so thankful for those people. You get to say, oh, yes, it's been an awful day. Thank you for asking.
Oh, I'm sorry, madame and monsieur, we are full tonight.
Would you like a quota of mercury today? It's exciting at the bar that I can offer. It would be very boring if I had to say, would you like a cocktail over and over? So I come out with something different each time for my own enjoyment. Maybe with cocktails I give them a little philosophy, with coffee a little political science. I have an opinion on every single subject there is. My bosses don't like it, so I speak sotto voce. But when I get heated, I don't give a damn. I speak like an Italian speaks. I have to be a waitress. How else does the world come to me? Everybody wants to eat, everybody has hunger, so I serve them. I give service. I can't be servile. There is a difference. I get intoxicated by giving service. It becomes theatrical. I feel like I'm Malahari. It intoxicates me. I'm on stage. There's some as don't care when they set down a plate. There's a sound, not with me. When they move a chair, it'll scrape with a grate on the ground, not with me. I will have my hand right when I place a glass. Notice how I stand right as customers pass. Serve a demi-tasse with a gesture so gentle. Or do it again till it's near Oriental. Down, 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 down. It's an art to be a fine waitress, to see that true pleasure reach past. There's a twist to my wrist when I bring your steak in, and watch how I take in your liver and bacon. If I used to be stylish and smart, that's what makes it an art. I remember Lover. My daughter said, start acting your age. I said, honey, if I were to act my age, I wouldn't be walking. Not after 16 years on this job.
After 15 years, I'm finally getting my pension.
I'll be eligible to retire in about 25 years.
I got 36 years.
29 more years.
39 years to go.
I like to think of a day when I just don't have to go to work.
Think of something and I forget it. I daydream. Don't do, you know. Gonna keep moving, keep going. Yeah, that's the trick. You awake at 10, fold up the bed. You don't want to leave the couch open all day, you know, it's depressing. You cook an egg, you toast some bread, you cook some, you save the budget. You don't keep track of your money, who will? You think about the day ahead. You don't go feeling sorry for yourself. It's like I said, you sit at home and be mad at the world all day, but you can get out there and do things. You take a walk, you meet a chum. This one guy lives down by National Biscuit. Boy, you should see the nice aroma. You shoot the bull, you argue some. Maybe he calls up a couple of fellas to play a nice game of poker. You lose a chin until they come. This guy remembers what cards you picked up. The dirty bum. But even then, being a chin sure beats doing nothing. You take a bus, you take a train, you go visit your wife's grave, and on the way you read the readers and digest. It does you good to use your brain, or maybe you go with your cousin and bring a six-pack along with you. You take a stroll down memory lane. When we was young, we was always together. And raising Cain. We go back a long ways, him and me. All the times we had. I remember once, back in 42, we were at this fair with these girls we knew. On this crazy ride, where you scream, where you scream, the big dip, and they come. Oh, we could hardly walk as we left the car, so we staggered down. And we sat and laughed in the penny arcade. At 6 o'clock, you'll watch the news. The politicians, they get just so mad you want to throw your slappers at the set. You'll cook some franks. No big to-dos. Most nights you lay around, straighten up. Maybe call your daughter every now and then, yeah. You watch a game, you take a snooze, but then they Sunday's different. You change your shirt and shine your shoes, cause you're going around the block to the tavern. You shoot some pool, you drink some beer. You don't need to have a lot to have a good time in the evening. 3-4 max. You meet a pal, you bend his ear. You meet a lot of your old folks these Sundays, sometimes a lot of you sing. Oh, the kind of song you never hear, like that pretty baby on teeth for two. And then you cheer. By Sunday we sang till we meet again. Believe it or not, I went to the most of that song. Honest to God. It was out of camp, I was 17, and the girl was like from the magazine, and the lights were low, and I really mean low. I think the light must have something to do with that. Oh, and I firehouse. They drive you home from round the block. You take the cash out of your sock. You fix the bed, you check the lock. You wind the clock. When I retired, my friends told me, Joe, you shouldn't have done it. You still had your help. But by then I was already too late. I don't know why I did it. It's out of a habit, I guess. But I don't regret enough. I keep moving, keep traveling, yeah. You know, I go visit fires every now and then. Well, that big one we had on Milwaukee Street a month ago, I was there. Boy, was I surprised. There's a hell of a lot of smoke coming out of that thing, but like, no fire. You know, you hear a lot of these things on the radio, and you think to yourself, boy, that was, boy, that was one hell of a fire.
You go in there and it's dark. Smoke's pouring out of the goddamn building. It all happens really fast. I feel this tremendous heat to my left. I turn around and the whole damn room is orange, yellow. I mean, you can just see orange and feel the heat. The lieutenant and the other fireman got up the ladder and saved 2 people. But downstairs, there was a guy trying to get out the door. They had bolts on the door, he was burnt dead. Know what the lead man said?
We lost the guy! Shit! We lost the guy!
Look, man, you saved 2 people. How do you know a guy is sleeping on the pool table?
Yeah, but we lost a guy.
You know, I always wanted to be a fireman. I mean, a lot of guys want to be firemen. It's like kids. Everybody's still a kid. I mean, guys 40 years old still feel like kids inside. I used to be a cop. You want to know why I switched to fireman? Because I liked people. And I mean, sometimes when I was a cop, I'd feel this hate just coming into me. You know, one time I went to the roof of this project. There was this guy about 6'7" at the top of the stairs. He had his back to me. I said, "Hey fella, turn around." He said, "Yeah, wait a minute." I said, "Turn around a minute." His hands were moving around his belt. It dawned on me he had a gun caught in there. He was trying to get it out. I said, "Holy shit." So I said, "You son of a bitch, I'm gonna shoot." He threw his hands up against the wall. He had his dick out. He was trying to zip up his fly. So, look, here's this guy taking a piss, and maybe a lot of cops would have killed him. I said, "Holy shit, I could have killed you." He started shaking, and the gun in my hand was shaking like a bastard, and I said, I must have been crying. I said, "Just get the hell out of here." So I took the fire department test in '93 and got called in '94. You know, the world's so messed up, the country's messed up, but the firemen, you actually see them produce. You see them put out a fire. You see them come out with babies in their hands, or give mouth to mouth when a guy's dying. I mean, you cannot get around that shit. That shit's real. You know, I worked in a bank once. It's nothing. It's just paper. You're looking at numbers. It's not real. But I can look back and say, I helped put out a fire. I helped save somebody's life. You know, it shows something I did on this earth. You know, I always wanted to be a fireman.
piano. That's what I really wanted. And I'd write songs and things about my life growing up in the South. And my mama and my grandmama. Now I've got my own beautiful daughter and I've got plans for her. So I leave my house every morning to go scrub up rooms at the Marriott. Then at night I come here to this office. And it's scrubbing again. For generations, that's all we done. Scrubbing. My grandma, my mama, and me. But my daughter, she ain't gonna do no domestic work. I ain't gonna be the end of that particular line. My mama worked just like my mama before. Domestic work wasn't paid. It was long, dressing cook, and living hell. Nursing girl, babysitter, and a hotel maid. They worked 6 days a week, all day long, and never get out of bed. Those were the days when the minimum wage was anything you could get. They were leading women without faces, coming and going on a first name basis. You're talking to somebody who knows, many years more. I don't wanna be a woman laundry room. I don't wanna pick up now another room. One of these days, just wanna see you. Leading women without faces, coming and going on a first name basis. You're talking to somebody who knows, and many years more. I don't wanna be a woman laundry room. I don't wanna pick up now another room. One of these days, without faces, gonna walk in on a these last name bases. First she ain't gonna be stuck inside the laundry room. And no ground she's making children pushing her home. Even in her mom, she can sleep too. But the glory she can get at taking her home to for me that day. I come from 4 generations of cleaning women. But my daughter, she's a whole new generation. That's what we got coming up. A whole new generation.
My name is Ralph Warner. I'm 19 years old. I ran this mutual fund for the students at my school. My father runs his own Wall Street firm. I guess that's where I learned. He's an arbitrageur. You know, those are the guys who are always getting caught for insider trading. We studied ethics in school, though, so I'm sure I won't have any problems. Oh, also I took 1 year of American history, and I read the paper every day. Well, the sports section, the business section. I'm going to business school. Work, naturally. What I'd really like to be is a professional golfer, but realistically, I'll probably be an entrepreneur. And then I'll start a family, of course. My, quote, dream girl, unquote, has long brunette hair, doesn't need to wear a lot of makeup because she's gonna be naturally pretty. I want her to have a lot of personality because when we're 30 and going up the ladder, there's gonna need to be a lot more than looks. She'll be a good mother too. I hope to have 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl. I'd also like to live in a colonial house, possibly leaning towards a Mediterranean style. Maybe the house could even be backing right on a golf course, so my wife and I can play golf whenever we want. I hope my wife can play golf. This summer I'm working with a realtor on the Cape. We're starting a timeshare program. There's a lot of commission going into this. It looks really promising. By the way, are you interested in buying a condominium on Cape Cod?
My name's Charlie. I'll be 20 in 3 weeks. I was recommended for this job as a copy boy in a Chicago paper. Down to the paper, talked to the editor, told him how much I wanted to be a journalist. He liked me. I had a tie on. Coming to work for me was a kind of missionary kind of thing. I was bringing in organic walnuts and organic raisins, giving them away to everybody. See, at this stage of the game, I was in a very spiritual mood. I was enjoying my job because I was answering phones most of the time. People would call up and complain or have a problem. I'd say, this is a capitalist newspaper. So long as it's a capitalist newspaper, it's not going to serve you, because its purpose is to make money for its owner. Then I'd tell them to call up the editor, come down and take over the paper. A lot of people responded pretty well to these suggestions. Then the editor calls me into his office, says blah, blah, blah. I wanted to take a baseball bat, smash his head in. I mean, he's a nice guy. I like him a lot. I don't know if I would get any pleasure from shooting him up with a 50 caliber machine gun, watching his body splatter to pieces. Our fantasies all spring at He's getting a machine gun and shooting them, or going into the editor's office, taking out a gun and saying, okay, how do you face your death? I've been thinking for months, what will I do when I get fired? I wanted to do something to show them, hey, I'm better than all you fat cats. I'm getting fired because I'm different. I was thinking, how could I show them? Vape in the city room, meditate in the library, kidnap the editor, shoot him? I had to think fast, so I looked at the editor and I said, I hope you can live with the conditions you're creating. Then I turned, walked out, and started to cry. He hurried after me and said, wait a minute, I'm not the one creating these conditions, you are. I said, no, I'm not the one who has the power, you're the one who has the power. Now I've gotten myself on unemployment. They were nice to me the first few times. Then some lady told me to get a number. I told her, screw you, I can wait outside your apartment, knock you over the head, and steal your money. But that's bitterness. I don't like to be bitter. No. I'm a pacifist.
Heard a lot of songs say where you and the best of men. Tables hadn't turned, I hadn't learned the little time it takes. And everybody prays. Daddies make mistakes. Now this may sound square, but my kid is my input. You know what I mean? When I see a smartly dressed young guy walking down the street, I look at my kid and I think, I don't want him to be like me. I want him to turn to me and say, Dad, you're a nice guy, but you're a real dummy. Hell yes! If you can't improve yourself, improve your posterity. Otherwise, life isn't worth nothing. You might as well go back to the cave and stay there. I bet the first caveman to come out of the cave did it out of sheer curiosity because he wanted to get his son out of the cave. I heard a lot of songs say, where you going, my son? Now I know they're for real. Boy, you never stop to think how fast the years run. And the ladies they still now it seems I always knew why I do the things I do and the things I never did. Why I work my whole damn life so I can give a better life than the one my dad could give me. Give it to my kid.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just the work. Somebody built the pyramids.
The pyramids, the Eiffel Tower. These things don't just happen.
I don't care how much work you did. You drive down the road and say, I worked on that road.
When you see a bridge, you can say, I worked on that bridge.
Do you know what I think? If a carpenter builds a cabin for poets, the poets owe the carpenter a little plaque. Just 3 or 4 lines on the wall.
Though we labor with our minds, this building we can relax in is built by someone who can work with his hands.
Picasso can point to a painting, and a writer can point to a book. What can I point to?
Everyone should have something they can point to.
You know what I would like? I would like to see a building, say the Empire State. I would like to see on one side of it a foot wide strip, top to bottom, with the name of every ironworker, every bricklayer, every electrician, all the names. So when a guy walks by, he can take his son and say,
See that building? I was the one who did the design. I was the one who drafted the plans, every detail and every line.
See that building? I ran the crane that lifted the beams.
I was the guy who worked up above.
See that building?
Look how my door into the frame.
See that building? 40 flights up, I scratched my name.
See that building? I'm on the staff. I work as a guard.
I clean the floors and I clean them good. People don't know my job is hard.
See that building?
See that window up by the ledge, 10 from the top. See that window, count from the left. 1, 2, 3, stop. That's where I work. Everyone should have something to point to, something to be proud of. Look what I did, see what I've done. I did the job, I was the one. Everyone should have something to point to, something to be called in the crowd. See
show. It was having an ensemble show, let everybody just like have a chance to shine. It was so wonderful. So thank you. We have flowers, a card signed by the cast, Starbucks gift card, and this cup that says I'm important with a briefcase. Well, one obviously because working, and sometimes a lot of times in rehearsal we talk a lot, and this will say you're stepping on my lines. So let me just hold up this cup for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, and we also have this tent, and we have quotes on it by all the cast, and that's for you to take to lunch and work every day. Have flowers for our lovely choreographer. A lovely mug with some chefs, waiters, for our favorite number to choreograph. And a card signed by the entire cast. And it's a little cheesy, but work as if you don't need the money, love as if you've never been hurt, and dance as if no one's watching. Aww. She did everything with her assistants, of course. Come on up. So we have our lovely red splashes of red flowers. Starbucks gift card. And I know that like these costumes were hard, and especially my costume I know is really challenging. We have to try on like a lot of different things. But just her dedication, just going to like Goodwill and just like thrifting all of these like amazing pieces, just like putting everything together. It looks amazing, right? So
Our music director, we couldn't have really done it without him. We would just be actors yelling on stage without him. Without the band, we wouldn't have anything to do. You'd be listening to some horrible rehearse track that would end up looping at some point and be like, so without him, we wouldn't be here. So we have some lovely flowers, a Starbucks gift card, and a card signed by the cast, and a mug that says, "It. Make work, make music."
Yes.
Who have made this show come together so beautifully. There are so many little pieces, and it truly could not have been done without them. And a big, big thanks to Kylie, who's our stage manager. She's incredible, and we all love her so much. Getting all of our singing in gear and making sure that we knew what we were doing on stage. And working with us every day leading up to here.
She's not here, but give her a no.
And Viola, are you Viola? Come up here. Come on up. Come on up. Viola is our student director, and then Lindsay is our student choreographer. So we want to give some of them something to wish them luck. So first of all, we got them roses first. We got them a red whistle, so we'll finally be able to hear them. And then for Lindsay, we got a crown because she's our dancing queen. As well as this, and so she can like, start off a little bit like this. And
not have done this show without them. Sam McTavish made sure that everyone had something to eat, and just give a big hand for that. Wonderful drama booster board presidents. John is stepping down this year, so just give him a big hand because he has been such a great